Hi everyone, I'm Ryan Dunsbergen, Golden Harvest Agronomist in Northeast Iowa and Southeast Missouri. Today I want to take some time to discuss soybean plant development and their interaction with the soil. And I want to be able to answer the question I've been getting a little bit recently. Ryan, why does it seem my soybean plants have done nothing but sit still the past couple of weeks? Well, there's a reason for that, and let's answer that question. Let's start with soybean plant development first. I've dug up some plants, and I've got some V2 plants on the left, V3 plants in the middle, and V4 plants on the right. And I really want you to focus in on the roots. As you can see, as the soybean plant develops, there's a change in the nodules of the soybean plant. The nodules get larger in number as well as larger in size. Nitrogen fixation of a soybean plant starts around V2. What we need to remember is that once the Bradyrhizobia bacteria infect the soybean roots of the plants, it typically takes about 4 weeks before those nodules reach maximum size, as well as before those nodules reach maturity. So although nitrogen fixation starts at V2, soybean plants typically aren't reaching their maximum efficient nitrogen fixation until the end of V3, beginning of V4. Now you may be thinking, well, that's great, Ryan, but look how small these soybean plants are. Surely they're not taking up a whole lot of nitrogen right now, and they're not. But there are some other things going on in the soil that's adding to this situation. If we go back to last year, this was a cornfield last year, so there's a bunch of corn residue out here. Corn residue has a carbon to nitrogen ratio of about 60:1. This spring we had a really cool spring. So that did two things for us. Number one, it really slowed down the breakdown of the carbon that was there in the soil. And it also prevented any type of natural nutrient release out of the organic matter. When it comes to organic matter releasing nutrients, the primary nutrients are nitrogen, phosphorus, and sulfur. So once we got through the cool part of the spring, it's almost like we flipped a switch on the heat. We saw really warm temperatures, and what happened was the microbial activity in the soil just absolutely exploded. And when that happened, they started breaking down the carbon. And sure enough, they end up tying up the exact same nutrients that get released from the organic matter: nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur. And since those microbes are tying that up and using that for energy, it's no longer plant available. So these three nutrients are incredibly important, especially at the beginning of the year. If you put these nutrients together, they're primarily responsible for chlorophyll production, for amino acid production, for energy transfer, for driving photosynthetic production. All these things are taking place with these nutrients. In fact, sulfur itself helps promote nodule formation in legumes. So we begin to see the bigger picture and realize what's all going on. You've got a soybean plant that's, we'll call it immature, has not reached maximum nitrogen fixation production. Based on the year we've had, we've got key nutrients tied up in the soil, and putting those together, we see a period of about 2 weeks where these soybean plants have appeared to do very little. But you can see now they're starting to come out of it. Once soybean plants get to that V4, they begin to fix their own nitrogen much more efficiently. And on top of that, as we continue to wait, the carbon gets broken down, and as those microbes slowly die off, they release those nutrients to the soybean plant. So really the only thing we can do in this situation is continue to be patient. Because eventually what will happen is we will find a balance, and these soybean plants will begin to have access to the nutrients that they need, and they will begin to take off and look like a soybean field should look. So hope this was helpful. And again, my name is Ryan Dunsbergen, Golden Harvest Agronomist. Thanks for watching.